to take on the Highlanders as we kick off the final weekend of what has been an incident-packed and fascinating June international program around the Southern Hemisphere. First taste of international action for the good people of Southland since the 2011 World Cup. They've turned up on a fine but chilly night to see their Highlanders take on a French team that has no fewer than 10 alterations to the side, beaten by the Crusaders in Christchurch last Friday night. They've picked up 3 players not required by the French national team for tomorrow night's test up the road in Dunedin. Winger Hugo Bonneval, number 8 Fabien Sanconi, and prop Sebastian Taufifenua. Jean-Marc Doussain takes over the captaincy from Francois Cross, who's been relegated to the bench for this one, and what an unusual bench it is too. 2 props, 2 hookers, 2 locks come loose forwards, and just 1 specialist reserve back, Alexis Balias. Christian Cullen alongside me. Cully, good opportunity tonight for the opposition, the Highlanders, before Super Rugby resumes.
Yeah, certainly is down here in Invercargill. They're off to Fiji next week, a different temperature altogether, but they'll be looking for a good performance here tonight. And here's their team now. Well, Tokalahi comes back after a long injury break, 6 weeks with a knee. Experienced Ainsley Allen pairs up with Pari Parkinson, who gets his debut tonight in the Highlanders jersey. Sopawanga there. Well, this could be his last game on this park, so good to see him play. Richard Buckman at 13. Thompson, that's a great combination there. And to me, at the 22 and 23, Ioane is Sopawanga's backup. Umanga Jensen hasn't had many opportunities.
Yes, Thomas Umanga Jensen coming back from a long injury break. Well, it's the middle of winter now, but Ben Castle, not a bad night for it.
Well, good evening, TJ and Christian, and bonjour tout le monde. It is a cold, cold night here in the deep south. 2 degrees later, it's about 1 degree now, I think, but there's a good crowd nonetheless building to see their beloved Highlanders play an international opposition. Tough up front for them this evening, but the Highlanders are pretty good against anyone on home soil, TJ.
Well, the French Barbarians started off with a match in Tbilisi against Georgia, lost that narrowly, well beaten in Christchurch last week, but seem very determined, judging by the comments of their manager, the great Denis Charvet, to finish their tour on a winning note tonight. It looks like they're going to try and use forward power to do it. Remember, the French Barbarians celebrated a win over the Māori All Blacks 7 months ago. Completely different team, but still very useful players. And there is Sebastian Taufifenua. He has his roots in the South Pacific. His family origins are in New Caledonia, and he will provide some proven strength in the front row tonight. If he doesn't, well, they've got plenty of front row reserves on the bench, that's for sure. Centre Damien Penaud. He's a player, he doesn't mind mixing it with the big boys. The man in 13 from the powerful Clermont-Auvergne club, scored 2 tries last week in Christchurch. Now the French Barbars line up and await the Highlanders, who go looking for a second international scalp in as many years, having beaten the British and Irish Lions last week. Under strength for this one, missing anywhere up to a dozen regular players, 7 involved in the test match in Dunedin tomorrow night. But a great challenge for them to take on international opposition, and needing a good stretch out too ahead of their trip to Suva next week, and a match against the Chiefs as they begin the final stretch in Super Rugby. Ash Dixon and Lima Sopawanga are the co-captains for the Highlanders tonight. Walk out into, say, it's a cold night, but it's beautifully fine. The crowd ready to give them a big welcome here as they run out into the stadium here in Invercargill. Debut tonight for the promising young lock, Pari Parkinson, stepping in for newly promoted All Black Jackson Hemmelpaul. His experienced age group internationals. It'll be a real baptism for the young man from Whakatane. Maybe the last time, as Christian Cullen said, that we'll see him here in the Deep South, where he's played his Mitre 10 Cup rugby. And such a great hand in the Highlanders team in recent years. He's heading off overseas, Lima Sofawanga, so maybe his last touch of international rugby for some time. And of course, being an international, we have anthems tonight. Firstly, La Marseillaise, the New Zealand national anthem. Before that, Sophie Morris, Dunedin-based soprano, just recently been touring with the 10 Tenors, a fantastic rendition of La Marseillaise, the great French national anthem. Well, no haka from the Highlanders. They have their own presentation to make here, and for that they are calling on one of the legends of Southland rugby, a former All Black who actually played against France back here in 1979 when Southland beat the touring French side. It was just before one of the test matches. He played in the Grand Slam All Black Tour in 1978. Played 100 games for Southland. So too did his son. You haven't guessed it yet. There he is, Lester Rutledge. He will present the ceremonial claymore on behalf of the Highlanders. (12-11) they won that game back in 1979. It was a heck of a French team. Went on to beat the All Blacks in the second test at Eden Park on Bastille Day. So Jean-Marc Doussin comes forward, accepts on behalf of the French Barbarians. It's a great souvenir. I don't know whether they'll let him take it back in his carry-on luggage. It's great to see Lester Rutledge out there with some of his grandchildren. And there it is. The ceremonial sword of claymore. The Highlanders lining up away to our left in their alternate strip. Here's our referee for tonight's match, Mike Fraser, assisted by James Dolman and John O'Bredden. Chris Hart is the TMO. As long as the fingers aren't too cold, it is going to be a great night for rugby here. A beautiful day it's been in Invercargill. Nice clear night. Pitch looks in fantastic condition.
Yeah, we just need a new ball. This one's
tailor-made for a Barbarian style of game. Whether or not we'll get one from these fellas, I'm not sure. Get the feeling the way they've lined up their reserves bench, they're going to try and do it with forward power.
Just put some air in that one there, James. We're right to go.
Sebastian Taufifi Nua is ready.
Okay. Let's go.
So it'll be the Highlanders through the boot of Lima Sofawanga, who's played so much great rugby down here for the Southland Stags. Getting the match underway. The French Barbarians have it just out from their own 22. Doussin looks to get it wide. Pinot, nice stepping too from the centre. Well, he was a star player last week in Christchurch, and what a great run from Damien Pinot. And he's got them hot on attack. Now the forwards take it over. Bethune, the loose head prop, with a good run. Well, the pass needed to be better than that. They've lost some ground. It's picked up by Lespioc, the hooker, who's a lively player, man from the Pau club in southern France. Now the ball's been dropped by Doussin. But great run from Damien Pinot, the man who, well, he spent more time in the forwards than the backs last week, but oh, what a great start from him, Cully.
Well, as a superstar from the kick-off, we thought, yeah, they've got forward power, but they've spun it wide, and he sliced through the Highlanders' defence there. Pinot, and he finds a yardage 60 metres down the field. To me here, they needed to go again. You see, the little short ball comes on to the French forwards. That needs to go wide again. They've found space. They've got him behind them. What a start.
A fantastic start for the French Barbarians, just getting access into the game early. So prominent last week. There's Damien Pinot, the midfielder, getting involved in the forward play, but that time some of his skill out wide from the Clermont club. But this here, a fascinating area tonight. Look at those packed weights, although they're even across the board largely. It's a big area of contest. They fancy themselves up front here, the French Barbarians.
Crouch. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be an early test. The Highlanders tight 5.
Too far or too close? Yep, well, you adjust it. You guys set it.
So Siati Tokolahi back
Hold
from
space.
an injury suffered at Eden Park back in May, and I'm sure they'll look for him to try and shore up the front row that's come under pressure in the last few rounds of Super Rugby.
Fine. Sit.
Taken down against Conti Bethune from Agen, where they do like to scrum. But that's a good solid start. Renton switching play. And Josh Mackay putting the kick down. And French claiming that was carried back into the 22.
The scrum was inside. Scrum was inside.
And I'm not quite sure why. Mike Fraser explaining the scrum was inside the 22. They didn't leave it.
No. Well, it made out like they'd had the scrum on the outside. Demora, obviously he's at fullback, can't probably see that. Good clearance there from the Highlanders.
And there's Contin Lespiel from Pau, down near the Spanish border, club mate of Conrad Smith and Colin Slade in recent years. Well, bit of confusion there, but eventually it's Tanga who takes it forward, the blindside flanker for the Barbarians. And they look to get things rumbling. Here's Taufifi Nua, squat figure in the tight head side for the French Barbarians. Almost pinched here, and now the halfback Dobanya
Roll out of there first.
is in a bit of a world of trouble there, but penalty conceded by the Highlanders.
Well, certainly we've seen how strong they are here. A good kick.
That's where the penalty came. Well, I mentioned Putty Parkinson. He's a tall man, but I don't think even he's as tall as Swan Rebage. The target at the line out, but not straight. That was in fact Verhaeg who went up. Rebage, the one in number 5.
Yeah, sure.
He is a very, very tall man.
Shoulders out, straighten up, make sure we're straight. Yeah? Yeah.
Oh, interesting. The Highlanders actually competing on that line out. They would have seen last week how powerful
That's good there.
this French Barbarians forward pack is and how accurate they are at set piece time. So to compete there is a sign they're up for this. But again, very, very good first scrum from the Highlanders. So they'll need a clean exit here for Siati Tokalahi on this right side. He was nice and low and well set.
Sit.
You're looking good again. He again shows a nice, strong, straight back. And Renton, good clearance. Puts it down towards the 10-metre mark. And they'll try and get the line out right this time.
That's it, on the line here.
See the players in the French Barbarians wearing their club colours. Their socks. Taking it from the line out. And, got a penalty advantage here too. They didn't get their sack timed right, the Highlanders, and so Barbars can have a real go at it here. This time it's Rittier coming into midfield, the right winger. He's held up, so they'll come back for the penalty.
Well, interesting call here to make, isn't it?
Green, the sack's too late.
We've seen them kicking earlier on, penalty-wise. They can get it from this distance, but they're very, very strong
It's too late.
in their line-out drive.
You don't get it first time.
Well, they made it very clear,
Too late.
Denis Charvet, the manager, before the match, that the win is the most important thing, and much as they'd love to play entertaining rugby, they want to go home with a win. Just to finish their year on a nice positive note. Well, they are going to go for the line out. Julian Dumora, the fullback, Puts it out, doesn't put it as far inside the 22 as he would have liked. Is Ainley giving up the penalty. So Rivage towards the front, but they lob it down to the back. It's taken by Tunga. And now coming away with Subela. So good attacking ball here for the Barbarians. Right out in front of the post, inside the 22. Dussam moves it on. Here's Pinot. Well, he's keen to run, isn't he? Went in just a little bit high there and clobbered by Elliot Dixon. Puts him on the ground, does he? No, the referee says it's a maul. And so this will be a turnover. Good work by Elliot Dixon, but Pinot just a bit guilty there of going in upright, Christian.
Yeah, you're going high. Obviously, we know very, very strong. These players today can hold that ball up, but I like the variation being off the line out from the French. We all think they're going to drive it. Nice little move off the back there.
That was good, wasn't it? Sabella coming in there to fox the drive, make sure they suck in some defenders. And off they broke, but very good defence on that occasion. Elliot Dixon also, the debutant, Pari Parkinson involved. You see it here. There's Parkinson and Dixon, two of them together, combining, holding that ball up, and then Dixon just finishing off the work. The ball's still on the ground. That's good strength.
Fine.
Richard Buckman. Hasn't seen any action so far. Backs all lined up away to the left. They're going to take it off the back of the scrum here. And Elliot Dixon, away it goes to Renton. He's not so happy with that kick. Josh Renton, interesting to see him selected to start the match. Kane Hamilton on the bench, who's been playing extremely well coming off the pine, or filling in for Aaron Smith. Renton getting his opportunity. Espiel comes in and joins the maul at the back. The referee says that's one, so they need to get it rolling forward, and as the French do, they like to really whirl those rolling mauls around. And they take it to ground here. They'll have to get rid of this now. Dobanya trying to dig it out of there. Well, that's good defence.
Straight through. Green player always bound.
Something you often see from the French teams, Cully. They like, Ben, I know you played over there and too long. They like to spin that driving maul, don't they?
It's the way they get their momentum in behind, work as a mini unit within that drive to get in behind the defensive line at drive time. But it's two very good defensive efforts from the Highlanders. Their scrum is functioning well, and that's a couple of lineouts out they managed to turn, and they're the areas the French Barbarians get access into the game, and that's where they take the opposition on. And the way the Highlanders, although the territory doesn't favour them, they're doing a good job in the set pieces.
Well, this scrum just outside the 22. It'll be interesting to see whether they try and set a ruck to clear it or maybe move it. Here they go, and they bring in Faddis from the wing. Supawanga flings it wide and done. Getting on the outside is Josh Mackay. Puts the foot down. Payno comes across and grabs him. Buckman has to mop it up. But the first real opportunity in possession for the Highlanders, and they make a nice breakout. Now the kick from Renton. Tavita Lee had to hold back, and Dumora, well, eventually he's got it, but he's been grabbed by Josh Dixon just out from the 22.
You're offside. You're in front.
In fact, I think he got Rob Thompson for being offside.
13's offside.
Ahead of the kick, called him out. What a nice bust out there from the Highlanders.
It certainly was. Obviously Faddis came in, but I love the pass, the ball, the wide ball. Just a nice little overs line from Josh Mackay, and his pace. Just ghosting on the outside, gets around last French defender. So yeah, Faddis first, then behind ball by Watch Lima's ball here. Just uses the ball to beat the man. Lovely pace on the outside from Josh.
Good opportunity for Verhaeghe. Grabs it, and they've driven this one right through the middle. They held it in the front this time, so they weren't going to be foxed. And so the Highlanders have to hurriedly get into defensive mode, and they've conceded a penalty here. Dragging it through the middle with Sabella. And they get another penalty. And again, it's Alex Ainley.
First thing, ball still at the front there on that one, so there's no issue. Your maul defence has got to be better. Guys got to be coming from the back, not around the side. Okay, so sort out your entry. No, we're still at the front. Yeah.
So Dusan this time, who is the captain tonight, decided they've got to go. They did this well. They learned from the first one.
Yeah. Well, I think, gee, if I was captain here, that rolling maul, or that maul there from the line out, you'd think they're in a better position than what they were before to kick it into that corner. But I guess, Ben, they've been down this part of the field for 12 odd minutes now, so they need some sort of reward.
Well, exactly, Colleen. We saw when the Highlanders went wide in the phase before that they can be pretty dangerous and they can expose them. And their forwards, the French Barbarians forwards, have been working very hard up front to retain that possession. I, like you, would have gone to the corner with that powerful drive, but as you say, there's no wind down here at all.
Well, Dusan, nice strike of the ball, man of vast experience, international rugby, and he's played close on 200 games in the T14, and he puts the French Barbarians in front by 3-0. A lot of steam around, rising off the players. Lima Sawanga kicks it deep, and they didn't get it right. Almost collected by Tavita Lee. Gosh, if he'd reeled that one in, he could have been away. They just got it all wrong from the restart.
No issue there.
Did the French Barbarians. It was Verhaeghe who went up for it, missed it completely, and Lee almost profited.
Just the fingertips, wasn't it, that made it bobble into Tavita Lee's hands. He would have caught it clean if it wasn't for that.
This would always look spectacular when that happens at the restart. They don't get the lift quite right.
Fine.
But spectacularly
Okay.
dangerous sometimes as well.
We're pre-engaging. We're pre-engaging, no space.
It's the first scrum with the French Barbarians feed. Very interesting to see how the Highlanders approach this one. They've been very strong on their own ball, actually getting a little bit of an edge. So watch for Siati Tokalahi, it's nearest side to us.
Crouch.
So important to have him back here in that front row.
Sit.
That's the first feed for the French Barbarians. Highlanders have held their own on their own ball, trying to put some pressure on, but they can't do so. And scooting around the short side as Delbanya makes good ground too, the little halfback. No. Well, flanker was trying to get off. It was Josh Dixon trying to get off the side of the scrum and make the tackle, and someone wouldn't let him, and that's why there was so much room for Delbanya, and so it's a penalty to the Highlanders.
About here.
You thought, a sneaky little halfback.
Yeah, balls out. Yeah.
Shoot down the right-hand side there with the scrum. It turned around.
Drop to the back.
This here. Well, see the linesman calling it. Would he have got him, TJ? I'm not too sure.
I wouldn't have put too much on it. I think that's a bit of a lucky penalty there for the Highlanders. But they're going to get a line out and an opportunity for them to have a try. Parkinson and jersey 5 in the middle of the line out. Dixon behind him, Ainley towards the back, just helping the referee get the line right. They go to Parkinson at the front. And the young man takes it down. They drive around the front of the line out. And Parkinson picks it up again. French Barbarians offside. Renton wants it.
Full blue, offside.
And it's Verhaeghe who is penalised. Well, I might have another go here, I'm sure, Cully.
Well, I think they will. You see, Pari Parkinson got up nice and high, offloaded, then had another crack.
Offside. 4. Hold.
You see Pari Parkinson there having another go. Just there. Well, that's number 5, isn't it? Barge.
Called 4, but it was 5 who did it. Now the line out drive from the Highlanders. They got this nicely set up too. Edging towards the line. Lynches who's got it, and he's over. First try of the night goes to James Lynches and the Highlanders.
Well, the Highlanders have only had 34 seconds and the French Barbarians 22. And as you see there, the line-out drive, the French Barbarians just couldn't stop this one. Nicely formed. Pretty easy, no jump at all from Dixon there. You see here, just nice and tight. Ben can roll with this as he loves this sort of play.
Oh, this is brilliant work. It all started from that line out there. Such an easy, good ball to win. Elliot Dixon, no jumping. It catches the opposition by surprise, and the lifters and the support men and the crew can get there early and stop the opposition getting in. Even Buckman getting involved in Lynches. He was in perfect position. That little bit of weight coming in from Buckman at the end there, just getting him off to that angle. But, well, the Highlanders, they've only had a couple of minutes down here in French Barbarians territory, and they've come away with a pretty valuable try.
And that's the reverse, isn't it? The French Barbarians had an opportunity probably 3 or 4 minutes ago to do the same thing. They decided to take the 3 points. The Highlanders decide to take the line out and get the rewards.
Lima Supawanga been averaging just under 10 points a game in Super Rugby this year. The attempted conversion, not on target. But they do have the lead. The try by James Lynches, and it's the Highlanders who lead the French Barbarians by 5-3. Almost 20 minutes gone, nearly all of it spent inside the Highlanders half, and yet they have the advantage. So Dusan, the kick is only just going to go the 10. Good kick it was too, although a bit of pressure there on Tunga. He's controlled it nicely in the end. Highlanders trying to drive over. In fact, they have managed to hook it back first, but he's got a man off his feet.
Off feet first. Stay up.
I think that was Alex Ainley using his experience. He said he was off the feet. I thought he was trying to hook the ball back with his foot.
It's actually Patrick Silbella, the number 7, who took it in. Here he is here, wearing the red socks of the Oyonnax club.
What's your more defence?
So, French Barbarians with a line-out throw. Lespiel just inside the 22. And it's always been overthrown. It was meant for Sankorni. He missed it, and so the Highlanders with an opportunity to clear it. And it's Matt Faddis in the end, puts his boot to it, and it's a nice kick down over towards halfway.
No.
Well, I guess these are the things we talk about, taking your opportunities when they're there.
Don't change position down the middle.
There's the record of French Barbarians played against New Zealand teams over the years. Not been represented. They go to the front. Talfifinua taking it, and off he goes. Almost lost his shorts, but he's made good ground. Tunga coming in on the angle, peeling off his Ribage, looking for a run. Talfifinua though, he wants another go.
All right, leave it now.
Pick him up off the ground, but he manages to deliver. Now Dusan hangs one high. Pressure on Mackay, and he's taken that beautifully under some real heat. Pinot got up after him, Foysak as well, but he stood his ground, Josh Mackay, and bangs it away at a touch.
Well, the good old Gary Owen, and he's done well here because he's had to run back a bit like the French guys, so he's not coming forward to the ball. Josh Mackay, and he's done extremely well to get a mark there, relieve pressure.
Well, this time they go to Verhaeghe and he wins the line out for them. They go straight out into midfield, and Foy sucked, but he's lost it. So some turnover possession. Thompson with the dummy, and a nice little incision there, almost broke through. And now breaking through is Renton. Good run, still going, Faddis with him. Oh, timely intercept from Silvella though. Flicks it out the back door, and well, need to get the passing a little better. The French Barbarians. Foysac with a little overhead, and he's got that horribly wrong. He's not going to win a basketball contract. So he put his team under a whole heap of pressure. That's the fullback there, Dumora, who was looking to break out, but it was the pass by Foysac. In fact, a couple of pretty sloppy passes, putting them under all sorts of pressure inside their 22.
Well, this little break here, Josh Renton ghosting through, getting through here, finding. Oh, he's quite strong, isn't he? Finding Faddis, and if that ball had gone, Josh Mackay. But here, I guess this is Barbars rugby, isn't it? Throwing it around in their own 22.
Bye. Some might call it Barbars, some might call it boo-boos.
Sit.
Didn't really work for them, and now they're under a bit of pressure. And their scrum has been rock solid so far. Dixon gets it away to Renton. Now Supawanga looking to get it wide. Mackay straightening, put on the ground by Foysac. There it is for Josh Renton. Dixon on the right. It's a good strong run out towards the touchline. Renton, now Ainley has a charge at them. Nicely set up here, the Highlanders, and they'll be patient too as they sense an opportunity to build and build, the pick and go. It's a good one, and now they're just a couple of metres away. Dixon having a go for the line. That's Ash Dixon. Renton tries to roll the pass away, hacked downfield, penalty though.
12 and 10 offside.
So the inside backs crept up offside, but they're just starting to get their attacking game going here, Cully, and they're looking good, the Highlanders.
Well, you called it. They'll be patient, and what this team is also, they're missing a few superstars, but they're certainly relentless in this position. And now, talk about being relentless, a nice little scrum here. Put the French Barbarians defence under all sorts of stress.
Well, it might have been touch and go with Dusan, but Foysac definitely up over the line when the ball came clear. They've opted to scrum it, and well, where's Tavita Lee going to go? He's the left winger. They've got a huge blind.
Yeah, that's the question, TJ. He's just parked them behind the scrum. You can see him there. The scrum, as we've said, it has been excellent. Their carries at the moment through the Highlanders, they're getting over that advantage line. Tavita Lee just tucked in behind that scrum. Big blindside to the left. As you can see, they've had to stack two defenders there.
Well, options either way.
Clear the ball.
But
clear it. Clear the ball. You've changed. Clear.
Well, they've got to take it out of the back here. You heard the instructions there. No, that went wrong.
Your number 8's changed positions. I've asked you to clear it. You can't change positions and keep going. The first issue is he's changed positions and keep going. That's given you the way forward. I've asked him to clear it. He hasn't.
Well, Ash Dixon has been around the block, but he still hasn't quite cottoned on to the fact that a referee's never going to change his mind.
Well, he has been around the block, and I mean, obviously he's got his head down in there. That's when Josh Renton needs to come and tap him on the bum, tell you need to go. So he's changed position there. But they've turned that scrum to the left. That's the perfect opportunity to shoot it to Tavita Lee on the left-hand side. Very, very hard man to stop 5 metres out.
So what he's saying there, Ben, is that once he comes off the back of the scrum, that's it, the scrum's over.
Yeah, exactly. Got to move it.
Well, he's explained it well, Mike Fraser. And
first stoppage.
We've all learned something tonight. Now, Dubanya brings it away. Dusan looking for the wide pass to the dangerous Pinot. He's not going to get away from Elliot Dixon. Tobania Dusan has to go looking somewhere else for some space. Finds a little bit too. Trying to hold him up. Lynches has got him. Parkinson, who's already effected one turnover like that tonight, but this one comes clear. Here's Bethune from Argent, and leaving. Oh no, incorrect entry in the side.
No, leave it, he's standing up.
Against Foysac is the penalty.
Put it down, 1.
Oh. Red mist descending there on Contin Bethune. He's the man that gave away the penalty. Pierre Foysac, another Argent man. Great club that. I think Murray Mexted might have played for them many years ago. Produced some fantastic players over the years. Never an easy game for touring teams if you played there either. Now Dixon finds Josh Dixon. And here's Ash Dixon. It's the Dixon show. They've got 3 of them in the team. 3 of them in the forward pack. Nicely set up. They go to the left. Tavita Lee. Clean out is good. Dixon going in just as one of the French players was threatening to rip it away. Renton, dangerous around the front. Now Tokolahi makes good ground. Bobble ball picked up nicely by Seuli. And now it's been lost. French Barbarians have it. Here's Arthur Retier, who is a lively customer and determined on the right wing. They call him Fifu. And Fifu has got his team out of a bit of trouble here. Here's Dumora with the kick. The fullback hasn't found touch. He might have got them back into trouble. Faddis now. Thompson confronted by Retier. Tries to get on the outside, does so. Sorbella comes back at him, gets him at the second go. Ball still in the field of play. Buckman there to make sure it doesn't go over the touchline. Supawanga now out into the centre of the park. Aki Seuli. Dusan was looking for the turnover, lost his footing. Now Lee again with a standing start, takes on Bonival. Solid on the tackle though. Here they are building again. Ash Dixon throws himself at the defence. Tunga, well, he got his hands on the ball and wins a penalty too. Tunga Mangani, blindside flanker. Nice work from him.
It was a nice big hit there too from Fabian Sacconi. See there, number 8. He's got the sore shoulder for his troubles. But they hung in there defensively, didn't they? The French Barbarians, they had a bit coming at them. Certainly do like the look of Retier. That's very lively. The number 14 jersey. When he gets the ball, he's got a bit of a spark about him.
Okay. Time on. Just wait.
Yeah,
Time's on, water off.
Retier, who plays
Water
for
off.
La Rochelle, teammate of
Ash,
Victor
time's
Vito.
on. Let's go. Hold on. Time's back off.
Here he is here,
Stop open, dude.
nimble on his feet, and a bit of determination here too, Christian.
Well, you can see he's not the biggest man, but he's got a lot of determination. He's strong. He's not afraid to have a go.
Just a bit of a tension out here. There's Siate Tokalahi, a little bit of blood coming from there. There's a stat up there. French Barbarians versus the All Blacks.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of the great ambush jobs. I think some of those French selections or French Barbarians teams.
It was New Zealand A, wasn't it? An All Blacks.
That one there was New Zealand A. Yeah, that wasn't the All Blacks at all. That's not correct. It was the New Zealand A team. They played that game in Lens. Ian Jones played for the French Barbarians. I'm sure he played for the love of it, not the money. And they won that night. Yeah, that was a very good game in the north of France. That I remember it well.
Yeah, I thought we could play on. Yeah.
Siati Tokalahi just having some tape applied.
Actually, that was a great time because New Zealand A were in France and they played the French Barbarians and the French Universities in midweek games, and the All Blacks played test matches in Paris and in Marseille on the weekends. And that New Zealand A team, under the coaching of R. Deans and S. Hansen. And Cully, you were with Wayne Smith's All Blacks at that time.
Yes, we were. I think we had a look at that at the pre-show, getting beaten in Marseille.
Well, yeah, the game in Marseille is still one of the best test matches you could ever hope to see. And one of the stars of that game is actually the assistant coach of this French Barbarian side, Xavier Garbajosa, who scored a try after just 30 seconds when he chipped Andrew Mertens.
Yes.
I love rubbing that in.
Back to the present. Line out won by Sankoni. A copybook line out, but they've got it. That's Foysak driving it up towards the 10-metre mark. Referee playing advantage. I think that's against James Lenches there for not rolling away from the tackle. Here's Verhaeg, who played for the French Barbarians against the Māori All Blacks last November. Tau Whiwhinua. Nice ballet-type spin there from the prop. Chipped through. And, picked up by Mackay, but they'll come back for the penalty.
No. 7, roll away.
I guess it's a very kickable penalty here.
Shot.
You're thinking they can go ahead 6-5. 10 minutes to go in this half. And it's good to see they're playing and they're trying to use the ball, using their backs, using the big fellas up front.
That's the penalty against Lenches. Yeah, the way Dennis Charvet was talking before the game, you'd wonder whether the ball was going to go beyond 10 all night, but it's not been the case.
It's very surprising, TJ, because as we said before, what they've got on the bench, these backs are going to keep on running.
Yeah, it's astonishing. There's only one back reserve, Alexis Balles, the halfback. And here's the captain, Jean-Marc Doussin, right out in front. Pretty cool customer, this fellow. And misses. Big build-up like that happens every time.
Curse, commentator's curse.
So an opportunity to get back in front, missed by the French Barbarians, and 32 minutes gone. Not a high-scoring game, but very evenly matched, these two teams. It's Tunga Mangeni going up for it. Gabanya snipe around the side, doesn't get very far. Retier comes into play halfback. And again, not a great pass to Doussin. Has to take it high, go to ground. Fifunua with the quick transfer. I don't think Tunga's going to be very grateful for that one. Losing a bit of ground here, the French Barbarians. Now here's Sobella. He plays his rugby in the east of France, near the Swiss border. Kicked through by Dumora. And back is Lima Sopoanga, had to wait for it.
Holding green.
Dumora waiting. Will come back at them again. This time kicks over towards the far side of the field. Sopoanga well positioned for it. Can't get away from Dumora. Pops it up to Ainley though. He just turned up. Right place, right time.
No, Blue, leave it.
Pass looked a little sus. Dixon moves it on. Bit of space out wide. Buckman collected it at the second go. Now Dixon threading his way through, looking for an offload. Gaddis couldn't quite link up with him, but it's there for Renton. Sofuanga. Sauli had to jump for that one. and got hit hard by Sobella, but they've still got it. Supawanga, little chip, clever little kick in behind, and brilliantly done by Dixon. Gets it back to Thompson. Faddis and Lee leaving the chase, but Retier has got back. He's done well here. The little winger, they were coming under all sorts of pressure. Well, some brilliant work out on the far side by the Highlanders, but rescued by Ante Retier. Tobanya gets good purchase on the ball. What sort of an angle's he got? Puts it out about 30 metres from the goal line.
Well, the quick thinking of Josh Dixon there. The ball was almost out. Finds his inside man from the nice little chip kick. The French, to be fair to them, the French Barbarians are hanging in there defensively. They're scrambling well. See Retier get back once again to cover.
Calling for a shortened line out this time, the Highlanders. And Pari Parkinson delivers. Buckman lost the ball in contact, but the tackle was high. It was Sobella. I might have a shot at goal here. No. I thought I heard someone say shot. No.
It'll be one of the props.
One of the one of the Barbarians. Here's the high shot. Sobella on the ball. Ripped out by Dusan. Another opportunity for the Highlanders. They've had a few now down this area, and their set piece, although functioning well, just can't put it together. Line out.
So here's Dixon, who captained that Māori All Black side that was beaten by the French Barbarians last November. Sure he'd like to avenge that. And here he is with the ball in the back. The ball that's been going sideways, eventually flicks it out nicely to Renton. Faddis trying to step his way through. Like a tackle creeping up again from Sobella. Sauli slips it away nicely to Dixon, heavily involved at the moment, but gets airborne, and I think he's going to get wrapped up, brought to ground, and it'll be a turnover. Good defence, just got caught going in a bit high there, Ash Dixon.
Well, there's Ash Dixon against 5 French Barbarians forwards, so it's only going to be one winner there. But yeah, they just can't quite nail it, can they, Ben? They had a nice little line-out drive there. The French Barbarians nudged them to the side, to the touchline.
Yeah, it's good defence from that line-out drive. Here's the offload from Sueli. There's number 12, Pierre Foissac. He's the one they're holding. Hope he's got some big artillery with him. Quentin Petune, the number 1 for the French Barbarians, helping. There is Foissac.
Yeah, Dixon actually went in low, but Foissac just lifted him up. Here's Quentin Lespioc. He's a lively customer.
Let's go.
He doesn't do any good. They've got 2 reserve hookers on the bench. I'm not sure I've seen that before.
Space. Keep looking at it.
I'm not sure how many of these French players speak English. Mike Fraser, being the very good referee that he is, just trying to keep the instructions clear and simple.
Halfback. Crouch. Fine. Sit.
Highlanders trying to put the shove on. That's a good scrum too. And they'll get the penalty here.
Stop. Here.
Well,
I'll say straight.
Ben Castle, yours.
Well, Aki Sueli is the man getting the pats on the back, and so he should, as are the locks with the whole pack, really. That time there, Aki Sueli, number 1, he was the one that got his angle up. You can see on the other side here, it just comes up and starts to swivel, and it's coming back straight with plenty of weight. They're just not getting it out of there. They disintegrate the French Barbarians. That is a big statement from the Highlanders. Great work from that pack. They've been strong on their own ball, and now they get a real opportunity.
Ben Castle, of course, packed down many a scrum for the Toulon club during his time in France. There's Matt Faddis out here to the right. Lima Sopawanga directly in behind the scrum. Another good one from the Highlanders. Another good opportunity. They don't want to pass this one up as half-time approaches. Dixon gets it away to Sopawanga. Has a go. Taken right out in front of the post here. Renton clears it quickly. Thompson trying to chop his way through. He's brought down. Renton there. Quick ball. Dixon. That's Josh Dixon.
No!
Renton, no, little knock on. Seuli, I think, might have just nudged it forward as he went into support. And so the French Barbarians survive again.
Knock on. Blue scrum.
Well, that's just a massive confidence booster, isn't it, for the French Barbarians? Under the pump here. Lima gets a bit of yardage in there.
They'll say the same
and
thing
here,
to
so
them.
they're in behind that tackle line. They still scramble, don't they? The French Barbarians come up line speed nice and hard. This tackle here,
That was
great timing here. This one here, boom. That's good D by them, and they create the mistake there.
Both Pinot and Foysac. Foysac looking very strong on defence.
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Discretion there.
Is that half time?
Seuli. Well, might fancy another scrum though. Last one was pretty good.
Crouch.
Your mindset of the French Barbarians has got to get in, get out. Kick the ball out, go to the sheds.
It's a better scrum from the French Barbarians. Well, Saint-Clonis decides to have a run, and off he goes. Yankee number 8 takes it up to the 22. They just need to get rid of this. Well, no. Now, Delbania says, yes, that will do. Half-time here in Invercargill. Just the one try in the game scored by James Lynches for the Highlanders, and they lead the French Barbarians by 5 points to 3.